My friend said I can't recreate this SRK, so I proved him wrong. Using just Blender and a green screen, let me break it down. We shot this in his living room and cleaned the green screen Blender. After that, let's go into Blender for creating the environment. So first of all, we need some assets. So let's open the asset browser. We also need a 3D viewport where we can drag the assets. So let's open up another window, and with this two window, I'm going to use some mega scans for the ground base, and then I'll scatter some particles and modify it accordingly. So this mega scans I downloaded from Quixel and just added to the asset library. You can find them on Quixel. It's in the Tundra collection. So here you can see a very large ground with some hilly areas and lakes. So first I'm going to adjust it as per my requirement. So yeah, we can see all around, and let's see what else we can get. Okay, these are the like same package, same asset pack that can overlap onto each other and just make it feel like there is a connection between them. So here you can see I'm just going to place the assets so we can have a good terrain look. So with that, it's like a large landscape of black rocks, black sand and rocks, okay, going till the horizon, and we can see the ground in the horizon as well. So if you haven't seen the song, it's Gerwa from a movie of SRK. As you can see, I have opened different materials here in my asset browser, so I'm going to try some material on the grounds. And for this material I need to do project or some different kind of projection, because the material comes with them is not what I really wanted. But let's see if we can make it any better. First turn it into UV. I think this, well, these are leaves. I don't want that. I want something that look like black sand and have some small little rocks. So this one is closed. I guess we can modify it. So here let's change the values to make it, yep, a bit gray. Then we'll turn it with the hue saturation to black. So let's have a hue saturation node, and let's bring down the value. I guess we can go further down. So this looks okay. Yep, this is good actually. But you can see those ugly artifact that is causing by the bump. So I need to fix that. So here selecting the UV, and let's see if we can just, okay. So the thing is that with the like bump node, let's just give this different sort of lighting conditions if you do too much. So I don't want that. I want it to be subtle. And let's just copy the material to this. I think I selected wrong, so do the vice versa and click material. Now it's all black, and we can increase this to make it larger, and I think this will work fine. So let's have a camera first. So we'll just map out our scene layout, and then I can adjust the assets accordingly. So let's pull it back till here. I need to rotate it because I want that we are on the hillside and seeing on the downside, so the ground looks much more flatter, and only the sides. I want the silhouette of the whole ground area to be very clear, so it will help us like see the view and all. So I have the references in the browser open. You can't see them, but you can search for it. So here let's sculpt a bit using the same plane. This is a good technique to like make a layout good with just using only few assets. That will help to generate a nice looking layout of this. So you can see I'm just playing with this single asset on the bigger ground to just generate a cool looking landscape. So I like the end layout. You see that it goes from the right down to the left, so that is cool. And I think it's time we need some rocks in our scene, like small hair particles you can use with few rocks. And let's just see something if we can find. I guess these are from like cheese scatter. Yes, these are from scatter add-ons. So here I found the bunch, and now I'll go to, let's see, what do I do. First I'll need to fix the texture. So here it's kind of look like, yeah, that looks okay, but it's kind of look like that the texture isn't like projected right, or what. Let's scale them so we can see them. Okay, that's nice. Yes, yeah, I think it's time to fix. Okay, we can grab this much area, or more like this, a 50-50 ratio between the horizon and the skyline horizon. So here I have a hair particle system, and let's say how much we want it. First, I guess I'll separate them by selecting all of them in edit mode, and B, this is merge by distance for any extra vertices, and pressing by loose parts, so they all got separated or in each individual object, and I'll put them in the collection. So now with this collection I can just spam this collection of rocks onto the ground, and I think we need the density higher, and let's check pick random and interpolate it so we get more in children. And you can see with the scale size changing, we have increased the level of details just by adding few rocks. And what do we do? I guess they look bit short in randomness. Okay, display amount looks nice. I mean, the effect I'm getting is really nice. So let's see where this goes. This much density is fine, and let's play with seed so we get some random values. Always don't fear too quick with values. You might miss a chance to get the good looking result. So play around, and if you have any best already that matches, so remember that value and then click again or take a screenshot of the values. We need few assets, so let's find a plane. We will get that on the blender kit. Okay, so all are paid. I'm going to just filter it in the add-on settings. So here you can press N to open up the panel and find the blender kit add-on, and in the search filter just check free first, and we will get something. Maybe I guess I need to go to, okay, so this model I downloaded from Sketchfab because I couldn't find something on blender kit, and this one was close enough of the actual plane in the scene. So I'm going to just destroy it using some booleans and make it like it crash landed and just a rotten plane of the old time. So take a icosphere and just fractal it by subdividing once, and then you can use this as a like base for the boolean to just turn everything into a distorted and destroyed structure. So I'm just going to place it somewhere. It looks okay. Cutting out the main back part so we can have half plane on the front side. So a nice edge layout of the crash plane we need, and then we are going to just select the sphere and the plane, and then control minus. You need to enable the bool tool add-on, and hope you know already how to enable that. So here you can see we got the nice looking structure. That's what I wanted, and we can still play with settings to get a more refined edge and nice layout. and we have to make sure that we don't see any edges around. As you can see, some artifact edges are coming along, so we don't want that in our scene. So let's play with the boolean and get the shape we wanted. So you can see you have to be patient, and I think this looks okay. So what do I want to do is that I want to delete the wings, and let's just destroy a front part just a bit. So again, and you can see change it to fast. Sometimes if it don't work and you see that blob, so you can just turn the boolean type from exact to fast, so it will give good result. So the destruction looks good, and let's say destroy the wings also. Shift select the wing and destroy. Okay, this looks okay, and I guess the other side. Oops. Yeah, this is how I want it to be destroyed. A bit more. Okay. There are some parts which are scattered here and there remain. I will see if we can scatter them on land as well. So let's destroy from the all side. Control minus, and yes. So coming along nicely. I guess change to fast, and that's it. A bit more. Sorry for the background noises. A lot of noise I see. Make bit difficult to hear what I'm saying, but not a problem. You can just generate subtitle for that and apply all the modifiers. The menu you see on the modifiers top, that's the modifiers tool add-on. You can just search for modifier and you will get that, so it's easier to work around. So let's just delete these faces, and let's see these edges. We need to delete the vertices. One more left. Cool. So let's join them both together. Let's just parent this to that, and we have still some remaining here and there. So this looks okay, and you can see few of the small pieces are scattered around, so need to fix that, like this ones. So select and delete the vertices. Control L. If you have a small portion selected, then it will just select the whole thing. So we now have our plane, and just make it in the center of the scene. So let's just enable the composition guidelines and use rule of thirds for center. Center is fine. I need this in center, and let's rotate to make the scene so it looks okay and cool. Let's just club the ground accordingly so that it looks fine, just using a proportional editing, basic stuff. And this is look closer, and a bit much closer, I guess. Need to be viewable, but not like sitting around the ground. I want it to be just over the ground, so it feels and looks good. Let's just rotate and here and there. Let's just rotate. Here, and just using the composition guideline, I'll just place the plane, and this is looking fine. Okay, I like the look here. I think need to move the camera down just a bit. Saving is important. You don't want your project to be crashed or get vanished when you are finished, so need to save the projects as well. So let's see the preview, and wow, this looks amazing. I mean, according to me, the 90% scene is done. We still need to make the background and lighting that will be give the extra look. So let's just add an image for that first. So just searching in the background. So I found this image on Google, and this suits best. according to the scene. So I just downloaded the HD version, and here you just don't always need to make a background from the sketch. You can just use an image and tweak inside the Blender, so your background is pretty quick and easy stuff. So here you can see I'm just going to place this, and let's say have it a bit on the back, and let's see, first need to check this clipping, clear this clipping and move it to the back. This is now nice, and now just move it back so it feels a bit depth on the image. And here you can see, just by moving back to the bottom part, see edge, it just give a different vibe. So this is how you extend a background. Pretty simple and easy, cool trick. And we need the sky, and it just fit the right spot with this, the whole sky in the view. So that's what I want. Looks good. And now time to just do some shading. So let's see what we can do. Come here in the preview, and let's say, yes, first like removing the camera overlay from side outside will make it look okay, giving just a bit of an animation, not too much complex. I just need a very simple slow forward moving animation that just get closer to the character from the camera, like this plane, and by moving middle mouse button and then just moving this up. So very basic animation, which just feels like it has some vibe and depth and that cinematic feel in the scene. You know, once, like just the process, once you know the end result, you see why this subtle camera animation gives vibe. So I'm using the Bezier interpolation for the smooth movement. Here you can see that steps is much, that's why it's moving very slowly. So this is very important. And let's give, I guess, less frames. We're going to use 24 fps, so I guess this is looks slow but will look good with using the character. And this is where I just move the camera down till we don't pass through the ground, and then we move forward. And then here just enable ambient occluding zoom. Well, I guess I'll probably going to use circles for the rendering for good view, and just give it a cool HDRI that matches the background image. So here this all from HDRI Heaven. You can just go to Poly Heaven and download the HDRI save and just get the easy HDRI add-on. And this HDRI fits best. The name is The Sky is on Fire. So this matches perfectly with the background, like seeing the sun goes down, lighting of the golden hour, which we have in our scene. And let's just go to, so let's change the shadow mode to none, and we'll just change the render engine to cycles. So first let's add some sunlight, then we are moving toward that. So I think we need some clouds, because without the clouds there is nothing we can do about it. I just switched off shadows for the plane, so it don't cause like a big subtle shadow. I want it to be like more like a cloud texture we can see in the sky, that has to be there. But I guess it's too much stretch out when we will use, so we'll see about that. And here you can see I'm just trying to match the sunlight from the images, and I guess that's too much of a light strength. Need to fix that, and just enable denoising for the render. Let's just fix the count first. Hmm. Where should we start with the lighting? Now we are getting closer to the desired look. So the image is like too much, and we need to match the mood accordingly. So here we can see. Uh, let's just start with something with the ground I see first, or with the image. I mean, I need the image and ground to be matched properly with each other, so it gives the nice look. So here, let's just increase the emission. Okay, that's cool. This gives nice result. That's too much. This is fine. And for the ground, need to make it more dark. So with our hue saturation or this factor node, mix node we added, let's decrease this and increase that, and maybe 0.01 or 0.02 will work fine. Not desiredly, like I want it to be more darker. It's look kind of grayish, and that just gives like the whole terrain depth is gone with this. So need to adjust it. Let's analyze the scene and what can we do with it. So I guess contrast node might work well. It doesn't look like it has done anything. Maybe this one value will work. Increasing or decreasing it doesn't have any effect. So need to try something else. Okay, now this black and white just took off everything we have. Can't use a color ramp, I guess. So let's delete it, delete this as well. And this looks okay. I guess the mix node. Okay, it's not about the mix node, it's about the principal BSDF. So for that, need to adjust the texture accordingly. Let's try a diffuse shader. Okay, that's much better. Sometimes you can just simply work on things. So we still have the roughness in the normal value, and the refraction and other index values are gone, and that gives a nice looking result. So we can, that's pretty good. That's actually fine for me. So we got our ground and the sky, the high contrast. Now need to adjust the sun and the lightning. So I'm going to add a cube to make a fog around the scene. Just increase the scale. Where is the cube? Okay, there it is. We need to make it up much bigger. I think we are going to need to go to solid view. Still working fine in the render view, so I'm going to use the render view for that and scale it to, so it's covered all the area we can see in the camera, not out of the camera. We don't need that, or otherwise you are just feeding more memory to your scene. It's increase the load, so we need from camera to the all over the land till here. That will work fine. Or let's see, now I just matched it according to the ground. Again, we will see. Wait, so I'm going to delete this principal BSDF and add a principal volume or a volume scatter node. You can use either of this. I find volume scatter a bit easier if you want a quick fog in your scene, not too much dense and details. So we will play with values, and you can see that nice looking crispy fog that gives the look is there now. So with this fog, I'm going to adjust the light to match the vibe of the scene. Right now you can see the scene is looking good, but it don't have the harmony between the sky and the land. For that, I'm just going to use some technique here in the settings. So first I'll need to go to what I'm finding the plane. I'm doing the alpha clip because I think I have. Oh, let's just separate some clouds from the view, or just make the image transparent so we can see the background. Okay, what's the problem here? Oh, we're using alpha. I want this. So we can just separate the dark and the light values of the background. Here you can see the cloud is being separated, and this is what I want from the image. That's right. This is how much I want the images to be visible to us. So we can just see the light shining through, and those shadows I was talking about on the ground. It will be stretched, but we'll see. Let's see. So now just add this into the alpha, and you can see how much it changes the view perspective. Like, we have two different types of cloud, one from the HDRI, one from the image we added for the background, and then we can work around this. And as you can see, I'm not using too much assets. The same scene is very simple, so the layout is very clean, so I don't need to manage that. I just did the collection for the rocks because the rocks need to be scattered on the plane, so that need to do in the separate collection. Now I'm just going to position the sun accordingly, like it's going down the sunset view, so it has to be like a low angle. So let's see, first zero out and then move it this way, and let's see. So let's see from the render view how it looks, and I guess the sunlight is still like blocking something. So let's change the type of blend mode, shadow mode, so we can just see a barely visible sunlight crossing through that plane. Still not getting what I wanted. What is happening to the shadow? Maybe increasing that will work. Okay, now we got the shadow, but that intensity of the sun is too much. Okay, this is good. This is exactly what I wanted, like some shadow leaking through, but it's barely visible. Okay, now it's visible, a bit visible. So let's see, 50 is too much, and I guess this is okay. Looking too much in the strength, but we'll tweak along the way. Just now it's looking fine, so we can work with that. Need to adjust the background image. I don't want the background image to be fully removed because we want the look of that cloud, the light through the cloud. So here, let's see. Okay, the original image is very good looking. I mean, that is like giving the right vibe, but for that, yes, that thing I want from the sunlight to make the shadows. Okay, this is too much. Let's go with 100. That's okay. Need to adjust. Okay, I think this looks okay. This looks good. That shadow here. Still need to add the character as well in the scene. So let's see, we can tweak these settings here and there. These are the basic settings you can just play with when you create a scene. So you'll see, like, it took me about half an hour, I mean like 2 hours to make in reality, but to release about half hour because you just need the details, or most of the time you will be doing tweaking, and that's looks nice, like a right angle we are getting now, the cool vibe. And let's see. I think it's time to add the character, just more like I'm liking how the light looks, but a bit more. Okay, that's look greenish, we don't want that. More like orange reddish tone, that's pretty nice. I think it's time to add the green screen character that we keyed out, but first I will just add a cursor selected to make it sit on the plane right there. Let's import image as planes, and wait a minute, only recording the blender video, so need to find the clip. Just here comes the image, and let's scale it, and need to see in the material view, and our character is emerging slowly. Okay, we find the artifact with the alpha values, cause of the keyed image and the color. Some area of his sweater is vanished, so for that I'm going to use the alpha and use the color ramp to tweak the value and make it full solid, but need to check that the nearby edges don't get distracted, as we can see here. The tweaking it may take up time. I don't want that those little artifacts of the shadows and like overlining things. We don't have good lighting while we were shooting, so mostly light focusing from the right side, that's why we have left shadow. But I can play with some values to get the look. Just don't want to be see-through in the middle, that will not be right looking. So let's see, if it isn't visible to the eyes, we can work with that, but I will think it will be. Let's see. Okay, that looks close enough, and from the distance doesn't visible to the eyes, so that looks fine. Let's see, and there he goes. I mean, looking at scene coming alive, what you imagine is pretty cool, and he looks totally sick. Need to remove too much of this, like refining the silhouette need to work, but this is okay, but the middle part is removing, which I don't like. So, and while bringing back the middle part, the outer areas also coming along. So let's see, I probably tweak and get the desired look. And here you can see the compositing I done with the music, and the solid layers are the bars and all stuff, and this is it. So thanks for watching, see you in the next video. If you have any doubt, comment, and all the necessary links in the description, you can check it out.